Welcome to video lecture. In this lecture, you will learn the following things. First one is DC generator open circuit characteristics. In short, there is OCC. Second one is reasons for failure of self-excited shunt generator to build up voltage. And third one is losses in DC machine and efficiency of DC machine. And the final one is applications of DC generator. Generator characteristics. Generally, following three characteristics of DC generator are taken into considerations. Open circuit characteristics, OCC, which is a characteristics drawn between E0 and IF. IF is field current, E0 is open circuit voltage. Second one is internal or total characteristics. So this characteristic is drawn between E and IA. IA is armature current, E is the voltage. So the difference between E0 and E is the drop due to armature reaction. And the final one is external characteristic. External characteristic is drawn between terminal voltage and load current IL. So first we'll take here open circuit characteristics, OCC. So open circuit characteristics is also known as magnetic characteristic or no load saturation characteristic. This characteristics shows the relation between a generated EMF at no load, that is E0, and the field current IF at a given fixed speed. The OCC curve is just the magnetization curve, and it is practically similar for all types of generators. The data for OCC curve is obtained by operating the generator at no load and keeping a constant speed. Field current is gradually increased and the corresponding terminal voltage is recorded. OCC for separately excited DC generator. The connection arrangement to obtain OCC curve is as shown in the figure. The exciting or field current IF is obtained from an external independent DC source. It can be varied from 0 upwards by a potentiometer and its value read by an ammeter A connected in the field circuit as shown in the figure. Now the voltage equation of a DC generator, Eg equal to phi Zn by 60 into P by A volt. Hence if speed is constant, the above relation becomes E equal to K pi. That is constant times of here magnetic flux. Magnetic flux is here directly proportional to the field current here. So we can get the OCC characteristics for separately excited DC generator as shown in figure. OCC for self-excited DC generator. The connection arrangement to obtain OCC curve is as shown in the figure. The field winding of the generator is disconnected from the machine and connected to an external source of direct current as shown in figure. The field or exciting current IF is varied rheostatically and its value read on the ammeter A. The machine is driven at constant speed by the prime mover and the generated EMF on no load is measured by the voltmeter connected across the armature. IF is increased by suitable steps starting from 0 and the corresponding values of E0 are measured. On plotting the relation between IF and E0, a curve of this form shown in figure is obtained. If you observe the OCC of self-excited DC generator, so OCC characteristic starts a little way up, that is initially even if the field current is 0, we can get some EMF. So from the characteristics, the voltage is here OA. So this is due to residual magnetism present in the poles. Initially, the slight curvature at the lower end is due to magnetic inertia. So it is seen that the first part of the curve is practically straight. This is due to the fact that at low flux densities, reluctance of iron path being negligible, uh, total reluctance is given by the air gap reluctance which is constant. Hence the flux and consequently the generated EMF is directly proportional to the exciting current. However, at high flux densities where mu is small, permeability is small, iron path reluctance becomes appreciable and straight relation between E and IF no longer holds good. In other words, after point B, saturation of poles starts. Saturation of pole starts means even if you increase the field current, so you may not get appreciable increase in the voltage. So that is known as here saturation of poles. Saturation of poles. So means if you increase further IF, but we can't get here more EMF. So that is saturation. And it should be noted that OCC for a higher speed would lie above this curve and for a lower speed would lie below it. You know, as per EMF equation of DC generator, the generated EMF is directly proportional to speed. If the speed is increased, automatically EMF also increased. From the OCC, we can determine here two parameters for a DC shunt generator. One is critical field resistance, other one is critical speed. The critical field resistance is defined as the maximum field circuit resistance for a given speed with which the shunt generator would excite. The shunt generator will build up voltage only if the field circuit resistance is less than the critical field resistance. Critical speed is the speed at which a generator fails to build up voltage. Generator will build up the voltage if generator speed is above critical speed. So the critical field resistance is here can be determined from OCC by drawing a tangent to the initial part of OCC. So if you find out the slope of the tangent here, that represents the critical field resistance. Reasons for failure of self-excited shunt generator to build up voltage. So the following are the reasons. The first one is the no residual magnetism. So if the field poles are doesn't have any residual magnetism, then automatically the generator will not build up. So to build up DC shunt generator, definitely we require here some residual magnetism so present in the field poles. If there is little or no residual magnetism because of inactivity or jarring in shipment, no voltage will be generated that can produce field current. The second one is here open field circuit connection. If the field circuit is open circuited, then that resistance is here very high value. So hence that is more than the critical value. The field resistance is here more than the critical field resistance, hence generator will not build up. The last one is the voltage generated due to residual magnetism is applied to the field. Current should flow in the field coils in such a way direction as to produce lines of flux in the same direction as the residual flux. Otherwise, so the flux will be decreased, hence the EMF produced also decrease. So in that case, so we need to reverse the field connections. So after reversing the field connections, so both fluxes will be added, and finally the generated EMF is also increases, and finally the generator will build up the voltage. Losses in DC machine. The various losses occurring in a generator it can be subdivided as follows. So copper losses. Copper losses consists of armature copper loss, so which is equal to Ia square Ra watts. So copper losses is also known as I square R losses. So in armature copper loss is equal to I square Ra, where Ra is the resistance of armature. And second one is field copper loss. Field copper loss is in the case of shunt generators, it is practically constant. So that is here ISH square into RSH or V into ISH. In the case of series generator, it is ISC square RSC, where RSC is the resistance of the series field winding. So the last one is the loss due to brush contact resistance. It is usually included in the armature copper loss. If it is not included, okay, so we need to subtract, okay, we need to consider this loss also. So second type of losses in DC machine, magnetic losses, also known as iron or core losses. So these losses consist of hysteresis loss and eddy current loss. So hysteresis loss is directly proportional to maximum flux density power of 1.6 and also directly proportional to frequency. So eddy current loss is directly proportional to square of the maximum flux density and square of the frequency. So both these losses total up to about 20 to 30% of full load losses. And the third type of losses in DC machinery are mechanical losses. These consist of friction loss at bearings and commutator, air friction or windage loss of a rotating armature. So in the diagram, okay, you can see here all the losses in a DC machine here, total losses. So losses are here broadly categorized into copper losses, iron losses, and mechanical losses. In copper losses, armature copper loss, shunt copper loss, series copper loss. Iron losses consist of hysteresis and eddy current losses. Mechanical losses consist of friction and windage losses. So usually mechanical and magnetic losses are collectively known as stray losses. These are also known as rotational losses. So because of here this DC machine is a rotating one, definitely rotational losses are there, and also these magnetic losses also here because of rotation only, rotation and reversal of magnetization. So field copper loss is constant for shunt and compound generators, hence stray losses and shunt copper loss are constant in their case. These losses are together known as standing or constant losses, WC. In shunt generators, shunt and compound generators, the shunt field winding is always connected across the armature. So there the field current is constant. If the field current is constant, automatically field copper loss also constant. So in the diagram, you can see here various power stages in the case of a DC generator. So first one is a mechanical power input, which is equal to output of driving engine or prime mover. So from that, okay, we need to subtract iron and friction losses. So that is the mechanical and magnetic losses. So then here in armature, electric power developed, that is equal to Eg into Ia watt. So from that, if you subtract copper losses, so we can get here electric power output, that is Vi watt. Here you can see here formulas for efficiency of a DC generator and a DC motor. Efficiency of a DC generator, eta equal to output by input, which is equal to output by output plus losses. So because the output is just in electrical form, okay, output is just electrical energy or electrical power here. So that's why we need to write here output by output plus losses. These losses consist of here so far what we discussed in the previous slides: copper losses, iron losses, and mechanical losses. So next one is efficiency of a DC motor, eta equal to output by input. So which is to be written as here input minus losses by input. So because here the DC motor input is here electrical power. Okay, so we know electrical power input. Okay, that's why we need to write here input minus losses by input. Suppose if you want to calculate percentage efficiency, okay, just multiplied with here 100. So just observe that the difference between the formulas for efficiency of a DC generator and DC motor. So applications of DC generator, in this slide applications of separately excited DC generator and shunt wound DC generators are given. Just go through it. So in this slide here, applications of series wound generators and compound wound generators are given or clearly mentioned here. Please go through it. So with this, I am concluding this lecture. Thank you.